Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of my Tourbillon map guides. Today we're on Route 66, as suggested by one of my viewers. Got Josh here once again. He'll be playing as Reinhardt. Throughout the video, I'll have some aerial images showing these spots in a bit more detail. And without further ado, let's get started. So the first spot I like to use is kind of placing it underneath this little ledge here. Now, I really like this spot because it's a bit of a jump spot, because as people are walking out of spawn, it targets them through that gap in the floor there. And I don't know about you, but that seems pretty powerful because it's well hidden, it's well covered, and it's shooting people where they can barely even see it. If you're a class that has a non-hit scan weapon, it's going to be really hard for you to take this turret out. And yeah, it's just generally a really powerful spot. It defends anything coming around on this side, so you get a bit of warning if a sneaky trace is going to try and flank around you. And also people up right where I am here are going to get shot. It's also going to shoot at people going up all of here. It's going to just cover a really wide area here. Definitely use this spot at the start of a game. It's a really good spot. This next spot is a bit of a cheeky spot. If you place a turret and angle it just so that the little gun's pointing out over this rock here, don't put it too far down because otherwise it's not going to do anything. So make sure you place it kind of up a bit. So as you can see, it's going to shoot at people right from the payload coming up. And it's incredibly well hidden because the only part of the turret that's shown is the actual barrels of the gun. So it's really powerful in that it's going to be hard for people to take out, especially if they've got a hit scan weapon. And it shoots at people all the way from the payload. So it means that while they're pushing the payload up, they're just going to have one more thing to deal with, and it's just going to give them headaches all round. Now this next spot is actually a little bit up to you on where you want to put it. The main idea is that you want to be shooting underneath this billboard, and you can do that by placing your turret anywhere. But if you bring your turret back a bit, not only does it make it harder for people to shoot through here, because their bullets are going to have a bit more of travel time and fall off, but it's also going to shoot at people over here. So I reckon that if you place a turret about here, next to the garbage can, it's going to shoot at people through there, it's going to shoot at people on this side here, and it's also going to shoot at people coming over there. But of course, if you want to place it just here, it's going to shoot at people right here, but I think that it's a bit more vulnerable. Because the further back you are, the harder it is for you to actually hit this, and damage fall off on a lot of bullets is going to make it not do as much damage to the turret. So I figured that placing it back is a better idea, but you can really do what you want. This next spot has dual purpose. That's right, you're not getting one purpose, you're getting two for the price of one. Irresistible deal. So I see a lot of tourbillons place their turret up here or up on this side, and these are all good spots, but I feel like they're just a little bit too easy to take out. And players on the attacking team generally tend to push the payload a bit quickly round this bend here. It's a bit of a hard point for people to lock down. So I find that if you place a turret down here, it's going to cover the cart as it's making its way to the first checkpoint. It's going to shoot at people from a pretty sharp angle. It's also going to shoot at anybody going over at the top part here and trying to come through here. And here's what I like about this spot here. When the payload is being pushed through, there's a certain radius where if you're in that radius, the payload is blocked. And standing right against this corner here is actually in the radius so that you can stop it. And I just realized that I can shoot through this gap. So not only are you going to have a turret shooting at the cart, but you'll also be blocking the cart by just standing here. And you can still shoot at people. How cool's that? Two for the price of one. So they've capped the first point, and you're wondering, Quinzulin, what do I do now? But worry not. All you're going to do is come up here and place a turret so that it's slightly angled on the bridge. It's tipping the water out of its ear after a day at the pool. And this is going to shoot at people as they come through door 1, door 2, anybody coming up this walkway here, and it can't be peeked by any people standing up on this little ledge here, because it's covered by the rocks. That's why I like to choose this spot over putting it here. Because if you put it here, it's going to have 3 doorways that it's going to have to watch, and it's quickly going to be overwhelmed by people shooting at it. This turret spot's also going to lightly cover people as they come through this door, but it's not going to cover them for long, but it at least gives you warning. However, the height of the bridge does stop it from shooting at people on the other side. So for this next spot, you're just going to put a turret behind this futuristic looking bike here. Now, not only is this spot visually well hidden, but it's going to shoot at people just over the Harley as they're coming up this road here. So much like the spot at the first point where you're shooting on the little slope, you're going to be shooting at people and they won't be able to shoot at you easily. It's also going to cover people coming up there and anybody trying to sneak into your back door. So this next spot is a spot that I see very rarely used by people, but if you break through the ledge here, you can actually jump up onto this little walkway, and there's a platform. perfectly placed so that any Bastion or Torbjorn or anybody can just place a turret up here and be on their merry way. So this spot here is going to cover anybody on this upper walkway here. This last little stretch of road that they always try to cap. If your team's struggling to hold down this final point, it's a good idea to put your turret up here because it's going to put the added pressure on the enemy team as they're trying to push the cart. And also, it's a bit of a hard spot. Unless you have a movement ability, you've got to come all the way up here and wrap around here, so you should have plenty of warning if somebody's going to come and get your turret. So they've pushed through your defences and you're onto the last little stretch of road. Although you've probably seen it done in plenty of games before, it's just a smart idea to place a turret on one of these floating platforms because it's going to cover the entire area, I guess. It's going to cover constant radius that moves along with the turret, and if you've got it up to level 2 you can just leave it, and it's going to do a fair bit of damage. The fact that it's always on the move means that nobody's going to be able to just stand still and peek it easily. There is one downside to this though, and the fact that it's moving means that a lot of the time it might not be shooting at anybody. If it's over there you could be standing here and be completely safe, and if it's over here and the cart's down there you're not going to be doing anything. So that's something to look out for. Now, if you get on one of these platforms and float all the way over here, so once you're over in this little area where the platforms stop by, you can place a turret wherever you want. I like to place one down here, and be careful while you're building it that a platform doesn't pick you up and sweep you away. Once you're up here, you're going to cover a nice little area, including most of this long stretch of road down here. So yeah, I like this spot because it's easily accessible, not many people know about it, and once you get a turret here, it can do a lot of damage to the enemy team. So if you head into this room here, you can head around and onto the little ledge that's just out here, and you can place a turret anywhere you want. I like to place a turret down in this corner here, but I just realised that you can actually jump up here, and it's going to shoot at people if they're on the first stage of this final attack line. So if you hop down here, it's going to cover this long stretch here. If the enemy team's on the first half of this final point, it's just going to do a good job of doing a bit of extra damage. Don't expect this turret to last long though, because it is in quite a vulnerable spot. But it's definitely worth using if you're in a bit of a tiz and you've got some time to set up a turret here. That's all for the regular spots. If you have a Mei on your team that's willing to comply with you, you can use these next two spots to be a bit more of an annoying Torbjorn and get to an otherwise unreachable place. This first spot is outside the high side, and if you just get a Mei to boost you up here... Oh, good job, Josh! And you've basically got the pick of the crop on where you put your turret. You can put it anywhere along any of these edges. So if they're pushing around this corner, place a turret here. Or if they've pushed around the corner and they're onto the last bit, place a turret here. You're pretty safe because if you back up all the way here, there's no way anybody can shoot at you except for maybe a Junkrat lobbing bombs up here. So it's very useful to just sit up here and do whatever you want. Definitely use this spot if you have a Mei on your team. It's so versatile that you can really do whatever you want, and it's going to be hard for the enemy team to take out your turret unless they've got a couple of classes with high mobility. There'll be a bunch of aerial images up on the screen right now showing all of these spots in detail, so we'll let those roll by. While these are rolling by, I'd like to thank everyone for 2,500 subscribers. That's a pretty cool number. With my Sweaty Saturdays Torbjorn video, I'd like to know, would you like to see more of that? Do you like that content? Or do you think that it's useless and you don't ever want to see anything like it again? I'm open to suggestions really, and I really want to see what you guys think, because I'd like to know what I can put on this channel and still let you guys enjoy it. Even though I run this channel, I want to make sure that you guys are enjoying the content, and I don't want to completely change up what I'm doing. Thank you to Josh for helping me out with this video. I guess you're kinda useful. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the viewers?
No.
If you like this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, that helps out a lot. And I'll be coming back with another guide within the next fortnight, maybe within the next week. So yeah, I'll see you all next time. See ya. Look at the blue line, Josh, if you take a step forward.
It's like one of those broken turrets from Portal.
I, don't have any bullets. You gonna give me bullets? Are there bullets up there? Where do I get my gun? Do, we get some eyes at some point?
Hey, Alex.
Yeah?
What did Reinhardt say to the Torbjorn?
I don't know, Josh.
Hammer down. Ta-da! What did the Reinhardt say to the Torbjorn?
I don't know.
Hammer down.
Long live the king.
Simba!
Use whether it's a Torbjorn or not. But if
Oh,
you
yeah,
break
yeah,
this
I know
ledge here...
about this.
Shut up! I didn't ask you! Josh.